At the end of last week, Joe Manchin, the retiring Democratic senator from the state of West Virginia, was asked point blank, would you consider running for president in 2024? Because obviously that's what everybody thinks is going to happen. That's why he doesn't want to run for his reelection. That and the fact that the polls show he's losing by 20 points. But Manchin didn't hesitate, and he said, absolutely, I'd consider it. So Joe Manchin is 100% considering running for president next year, which would basically turn him into a spoiler for the Democratic Party. Because of this, as part of the Q&As, I received 2 separate questions from individuals asking about Joe Manchin running as third party. First one is from Cheryl La Moth 2866, who asks, how do you see a presidential run by Joe Manchin as an independent affecting Democrats and Republican candidates in the 2024 presidential election? Another question from Observations from the Fringe 9048 says, do you think Joe Manchin will run for president? I read a report months ago where he said if he ran, he would win. What are your thoughts? And yeah, by the way, Manchin did say that. He's like, if I run an election, I win it. Yeah, that's why you're not running for re-election in West Virginia. But either way, what happens if Joe Manchin runs as an independent? Does he siphon more votes away from the Democrats or from the Republicans? Now, the quick answer, the obvious answer would be, obviously, he's a Democrat. Granted, he's a corporate Democrat. He's a very conservative Democrat, but he's going to pull more votes away from Joe Biden, right? Right? I don't know. Why don't we ask Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about that? I mean, Bobby is a Democrat. Now he's running as an independent, but polls show he's siphoning twice as many Republican voters as he is Democratic voters. See, I don't think Joe Manchin has actually fooled enough Democrats in this country to think that, hey, he's the path forward. No, Joe Manchin is a status quo corporate guy. Let's not rock the boat. Let's not do anything that's going to benefit the people. Let's keep things as they are, but make life a little bit better for the fossil fuel industry and my corporate donors. So a vote for Joe Manchin, I think most Democrats in this country understand, is a vote to either have things stay exactly the same, but get worse on the pollution and corporate side, or things get worse everywhere and get so much better for these corporations. Like, we get nothing out of a Joe Manchin presidency. And I think the Democrats are smart enough to understand that. On the Republican side, however, that's exactly what they want. Like, hey, yeah, let's get rid of regulations. Let's drill, baby, drill. Let's do all the things Joe Manchin likes. And Joe Manchin doesn't come with the baggage that the guy who's going to be at the top of our ticket has, you know? So we could be looking at another situation if Manchin does get into the race where he becomes more of a Bobby Kennedy type and he takes more votes away from Republicans than he does the Democrats. Now, the bigger problem with all of this is what happens if we have 2 independent candidates, RFK and Joe Manchin. RFK is not doing horribly ever since switching as an independent. Yeah, his poll numbers, he's in the double digits. That's nothing to scoff at. So what is the realistic possibility that either one of these people, whether it's Manchin or Kennedy, what happens if they win a couple states here and there? Suddenly, we're looking at an electoral college mess. Because if they take enough votes away and actually win a state or two, it may put all of the other candidates in a position where there's not enough electoral college votes left to hit the threshold to win the election. Well, then we got some real problems, right? Now, I don't think we'll get to that, but it is something that everybody kind of needs to keep on the back burner. Joe Manchin would not be an immediate flop if he were to run for president. So, just like Bobby, he didn't do well as a Democratic candidate, but as soon as he switched to independent, things started looking up for him. And if we get a couple more of those, it could be a very intriguing year. But at the end of the day, I think it helps Joe Biden more than it hurts him. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button. and help Aspen not be so grumpy.